great shots of road.
Kings of Dirt, in association with Broadlink. Serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. Ford, go further. And KTM, ready to race. On this week's episode, we look back at round 2 of the Motorcycle National Off-Road Championship from Winterton in the Northern Cape.
Winterton was a very big town at a certain point. They reckon there were 7 schools here and like 5 hotels. So you can imagine how many people lived in Winterton. There's virtually no houses left anymore because the diggings took it over. But it's a great place to be and it's nice for racing purposes.
A few years ago, we decided to actually find a way to position ourselves as a destination of choice for something. And that particular element that we actually determined or established is that we are a very good destination because of the topography of the Northern Cape for certain extreme sports and naturally our extreme culture and our extreme nature. And we combined it and actually said, this is our branding pillar, our brand pillars. This is really what we're about. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us unique. So we offer extreme sports in this province across the board. What you actually find when this kind of thing happens, and that's our hope, that whenever we actually offer and take on these events, that people will come with their families, that it's not only the participants that's going to come, they're going to bring their families, they're going to bring their friends, and they're going to tell them about it. They're going to come and they will experience it. So when that happens, we fill up the hotel rooms and the guest houses. People come in and they buy things from the local shops. So that actually helps to build and sustain the communities of those areas.
As winter moves in over South Africa, the mornings get colder, and it was no different in Winterton. However, the temperatures were predicted to climb into the upper 20s on the day, making for pleasant riding.
It's new for everybody, so I'm looking forward to it. It's even playing fields today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the guys here have done a lot of hard work, and I'm looking forward to it. The competition is going to be fast as normal, so I think it's going to be a good day.
You just try and get as much information beforehand as possible and just try and duplicate it on practice. But yeah, it's so hard because you never know exactly what it's going to be like and how fast it's going to be. So that's another hard thing to make a decision on, is what gearing you should use. And yeah, it's just a gamble at the end of the day. So, but it's a good thing there's that D control, that if you had to make changes, you can make changes at halfway.
Today sounds like it's all graded roads with a lot of pebbles in the track, so we're going to be roosting each other big time. Just hope to keep the Kawasaki guys proud and stay up there.
I got here yesterday and I saw the dust is hanging in the air, so starting in the third row, 5th or 6th position depending on my start. It is going to be hard, it's not the ideal situation, but I'm here to do my best. I'm here to race with the grace of God, and I'm just here to give my best at all.
Today's going to be interesting. The main thing is just to keep the bike safe and don't make mistakes and don't injure ourselves, and yeah, bring it to the finish line and see what happens.
I think traction's going to be fine. Light and big bike, and dust's going to be hectic. So, and also the ladies only doing 75%. We start at the back always. So, hey, dust is hectic.
The front row of the grid was made up of the winner from the last round, Lawrence Mahoney, and second place man Ross Branch, both aboard Brother KTMs. It was the chasing pack who were hoping not to let the leading two get away. Just outside the pits, riders came past in their pairs, including 2013 champion Kenny Gilbert, with Dylan Ings on the Kawasaki alongside him. They were followed by another pair of Yamaha's Tim Young and Ruan Roberts. Brother KTM teammates Lo Schmidt and Tyron Miller followed closely behind.
This is hard-packed terrain mostly. In this area, there's a lot of, we call it pebbles, all over the show. You can't believe how many pebbles it is. And it's not rocky. We got certain sections, but it's very short, which is rocky, but it's well marked as well. So, yeah, you can't say it's really rocky. The guy's going to race flat out.
Yeah, I feel sorry for those guys. I wouldn't do it, but then I'm too old for this game, I guess. It is fairly flat, a lot of pebble. We're close to the Vaal River, and so one can expect that you will have some rocky areas and pebbles, and a few, areas or bits where you will actually have sand, quite sandy areas. But it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful environment, and something to actually definitely try and come and experience.
With 2 loops on the event and 3 laps of each loop to do, it was going to be a fast but grueling day, and Lawrence Mahoney was on fire from the word go and immediately pulled a 30-second lead over his teammate Ross Branch. Kenny Gilbert had made some time on the 2 up front, but unfortunately it didn't last long as dust started to play its role in the race. A huge battle started to ensue as Dylan Ings and Ruan Roberts fought it out for the positions early on. It was current 250cc reigning champion Tim Young who fell off the pace as Roberts rode away. The leading OR2 bike on track was Tyron Miller, who has recently shown some amazing pace. The 350cc KTM is to his liking. Just behind in the leading OR3, that's the 200cc class, was yet again Lo Schmidt. It it was now brother KTM leading all categories, with Bolivar and Royan heading up the seniors.
Last year I was on the XC450, which is an amazing bike. It's nice and light, very aggressive, but I think it was too aggressive for me. My riding style is very aggressive, so I found I was fighting the bike more than I was racing. I spoke to Chris, the mechanic. I said to him, you know, what do you think about me going to a 450 XCW, which is a more enduro bike, smoother motor, a little bit heavier, but not much. And then he said to me, well, the 500 weighs the same as the 450. Why don't you just ride the 500? So yeah, I took the 500 out. I did some testing with it, and I was so comfortable from the word go. Got back to the workshop. I said to Chris, hey, we're racing 500 this year, and you know, so far it's worked for me. It is a bit heavier, and it's a bit more difficult to stop the bike and stop and turn it, you know, and like windy stuff. But I really enjoy the smooth power. It's got a lot of torque, and it's an easy bike to ride.
There wasn't too much time to make up in the opening stages as speeds were high, and if you got too close to the rider in front of you, you were treated with some rapid-fire pebbles. Roost from the rear tire of the bike in front was killer.
Listen, at my age, just going into the Masters next year, I don't think training's an issue. We just need to ride the bike and enjoy it. But yeah, we need to step up our game to keep to the guys. And we're going to have to go blindfold out there today because it's a new course, we don't know it, and ride our hearts out.
In the seniors, it was another well-deserved victory for Bolivar and Royan, followed by Peter Hall and Wayne Farmer. The Masters category saw Team Husqvarna's Garth Prost take victory, followed by Adrian Strom and Robert Streak. The breakdown in the seniors and the Masters looked like this. Then Bolivar and Royan ahead of Hull, Farmer, Hanley and Fanta. Masters all about Prost taking the win ahead of Strom, Streak and Burning.
I think everyone's getting used to it, and you know, everyone's a challenge. Everyone has their secret weapon, and you know, everyone's a racer out there, so you can't actually single one person out. So everyone's good, everyone's excited to be here.
This year there's a lot of competition in the bike ladies, which is good. There's Nanda and Tay. The racing's definitely, the girls have got a lot faster in South Africa, and hopefully it grows better.
That's really close, seconds count. Nanda's starting right in front of me. I'm starting right next to Tony. I think it's going to be a hard fight right off the start. I think it's all about getting the whole shot because it's going to be a really dusty race. I'm looking forward to some good off-roading. It's going to be fast.
Well, it was tighter than ever in the ladies' race as they juggled positions throughout the day. But it was Tony Jardim who came out on top after a fierce battle with Tay Perry and Nanda Swickers. These ladies have got some serious pace.
I train 4 times a day, fitness training, and then I try ride 3 to 4 times a week. I've just come back from Spain, and the racing over there is much different to here. And the ladies over there are just ridiculously fast compared to us over here. So, but it helps a lot because you're putting yourself against faster girls and then coming back home, so it does help.
Coming back from injury, Mark Talaga was trying to ride himself back into pace and into the points, but later in the race, the injury forced him to retire.
I don't know, racing's my life. I just love it. Getting on a bike and riding, and you're just free, you got no worries, and it's just what I love.
If everything goes well, then it's going to be a good day and everyone's going to have fun, and that's basically why I'm here, just to have fun. You know, privateer and just racing. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's nice to be a little bit of difference in there, and the guys treat us well and we treat them well, and hopefully it's like that on track and we keep it sporting.
Further down the field, it was all about hanging in there and trying to match the pace of those ahead. Just before the halfway mark of the race, and Lawrence Mahoney had built an even bigger lead with a full 1 minute difference between himself and the flying Ross Branch.
So this is a hard thing to get through for a whole day?
Oh yeah, it's really difficult because it's 100% concentration, because any mistake or any lack of concentration, you can pretty much have your race is over. So yeah, it's not fun.
Ruan Roberts made the move into 4th place just behind Kenny Gilbert, whilst Dylan Ings had fallen back 1 position. Catching fast was Tyron Miller, a revelation this season in the off-road scene. Lo Schmidt still held the lead in the OR3 race and lay 7th overall, whilst on time, Alter Tevet made his way into 8th after starting way back.
Quickly. We changed the brake pads on the front and the rear only to be sure. The brake pad's still good, but they goes very hot. And yeah, we changed the wheels front and rear, but it's all easy job.
We've done 3 laps now and we've got another 3 laps to do, different loops. So yeah, it's going to be all new now again when we go out. So far so good, you know, the bike is amazing and I'm really loving it. Awesome track, you know, the organisers really did an awesome effort and the marking is unbelievable. So yeah, so far so good and we'll see how it goes.
KTMs are going unbelievably well. The Pirellis are hooking up nicely in this slippery stuff, so I'm loving it. You know, I'm having a good time.
Obviously check fuel, do a rough check over the bike, make sure nothing's loose, there's nothing stuck in the radiators, it's all good, chain is good. Change the rear tyre and any technical adjustments the rider may feel, you know, circumstances are different out on the track.
It's very, very dusty. I started a bit back, so it's been a bit of a nightmare in the dust. You can't see anything, so I'm just taking it easy and waiting until the guys make a mistake or I can get close enough and then get past. So I've got past a couple guys now, so I'm just going to keep it clean and make it to the end safely.
We would like to get a full championship separately for bikes and quads. There were meant to be more bike ladies this year racing, but 2 of them have injured themselves. So hopefully the next race there'll be more.
Going good. Had a little bit of a fall now on the 3rd lap, but going strong now. Hoping to get out in the next lap and try to push harder.
Looking at KTM news now, and Brett Cummings is the main man as he takes the win in the first running of the Namakwa Africa Rally. Another inaugural event and another win for Wade Young as he wins the Brave Man up in Windhoek. The Knighter David Knight gets the win at the tough one with Johnny Walker and Alfredo Gomez rounding off the podium. Back out front in the second half of the race, there was not too much change as Lawrence Mahoney still held a sizable lead over Ross Branch, with Kenny Gilbert and Ruan Roberts in third and fourth respectively. And Tyron Miller were still locked in a tight battle for the top 5, and Lo Schmidt was still leading the 200cc class. Jared Coetzee had some very quick laps and found himself climbing into the top 10, something we haven't seen from the youngster in a very long time. And local man to the area, Franco Smith, pushed hard on terrain he knows all about. He lay in 10th overall on what was an extremely hard day to make passes on, whilst Altus de Vet was still climbing the order in the race. Going into the final kilometres of the race saw no change up front as Lawrence Mahoney still led out Ross Branch and Kenny Gilbert for the podium positions, but Ruan Roberts made up loads of ground on the final lap as Kenny Gilbert had 2 small crashes costing him valuable seconds.
Today I'm just going to take it smooth and I'm going to be careful, and yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to stay on top. There is a lot of pressure and all I need to do is keep my mindset right.
Who's the main competition coming in now?
I think I'm looking at Cilliers Fourie and Brendan Sonnewalder, Alistair Drennan, and then yeah, Edouard Bester, yeah.
With so many young riders joining the National Championship this year, the sport looks to have healthy growth. And it's not that they are just making up the numbers either. They are showing the seasoned riders that they too can mix it up with the big boys. The high school class has become a full national championship class this season with some great racing to show for it. It was Edouard Bester's first victory of the season in the motorcycle category. The competition was fierce though, with just over 3 minutes separating the podium finishers. Alistair Drennan was second, with Brendan Fourie rounding off the podium. Local rider Cilliers Fourie finished 4th and Dean Lindsay claimed 5th place, with 9 youngsters completing the dusty race where they had to do 180 kilometers of racing. Back to the main race, and Lawrence Mahoney had dominated from start to finish. Are we about to see Mahoney make history once again by taking a championship unbeaten on the season? Ross Branch was about to make it 2 second-place finishes in a row. He came into the championship as a dark horse, but has shown that he is a true title contender. The race on time was extremely tight between Ruan Roberts and Kenny Gilbert. It came down to seconds on the finish line. What a resurgence from Tyron Miller. He came across the line for his best result in the championship yet, with a top 5 finish and a win in the OR2 250 category, whilst teammate Lo Schmidt held his nerve for 6th overall and an OR3 win. Looking at the overall results then, coming out of round 2 of the National Off-Road Championships here at Windsorton, Mahoney takes the win ahead of Branch, Roberts, Gilbert and Miller, top 5, tied at the top.
Couldn't have done it without my team, you know. The bike was amazing, Chris did an awesome job, you know. Brother KTM Force Fuel, all my personal sponsors. You know, at the end of the day, I can't do this without them. My family, mom and dad and my girlfriend Marilyn, they support me 100%, and Yeah, just to be here and to be in here in one piece, I give all the glory to Lord Jesus Christ. It's keeping me safe and motivating me, and just it's really a blessing. But long year ahead, and hopefully we can keep it like this.
So coming out of this event and looking forward to the rest of May, on the 17th, round 2 of the Enduro World Cross Country Series in KZN. On the same weekend, we've got regional off-road motorcycles in the Western Cape. And towards the end of the month, on the 24th of May, round 3 of the National Motocross Championship. This week's episode was brought to you by Broadlink, serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. Ford, go further. And KTM, ready to race.